Good afternoon. We're convening the Committee on Transportation on our 3 p.m. agenda here in Conference Room 224 as well as online. We have a number of resolutions on the agenda today, as well as a couple of joint hearings. So for everybody listening, we do have two joint hearings with other committees at 3:15. So if we don't get through our full 3 p.m. agenda, we'll take a break then to vote on those with the other committees and then come back and finish our 3 p.m. agenda. That said, we do have a number of resolutions, so we'll be asking folks to limit their testimony to 2 minutes to make sure everyone has time to chat and say their piece. And otherwise, if we do get interrupted, we'll be deferring everything to our next agenda on Tuesday at 3 p.m. here in this room. That said, up first is SCR 90 and SR 69, requesting the Director of Transportation to adopt rules to require vehicle inspections to assess the level of noise emitted by the vehicle's exhaust. And testifying first is the Department of Transportation.
Good afternoon, Chair Lee and members of the Transportation Committee. Jade Butay for DOT. We stand on our submitted written testimony in opposition.
Thank you. And that's all the testimony we have. Are there any questions from anybody? If not, Director, just on that real quick, I did read through your testimony and appreciate, I think, the concerns you raised. Has there ever been, to your knowledge, a task force or working group to sort of sort this out between the county and the state?
If you don't mind, Chair, can you unmute John Lobstead? John, can you answer the question, please?
I'm not clear what the question is about a difficulty between the county and the state.
Yeah, I think the crux of the resolution was getting at noise complaints with vehicles and being able to measure exhaust at the point of inspection, which I guess currently would either be in the recon process or in a safety check, which obviously is governed under multiple jurisdictions because HPD enforces if you're on the roads after you already got your inspection. So I guess it seems to go back and forth, depending on the year between the counties and the state trying to get something done. But has there ever been like a working group between the counties and the state to try and sort that out once and for all?
No, not specifically for sound.
Okay. Is that something DOT would be opposed to if we did sort of a little working group on this particular issue?
No, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Okay. We probably don't need DOT to host if that's a concern. I'm sure we can sort of just get some folks in a room together, and as long as we can compel the counties to have part of the discussion, then it seems like we'd probably get at least somewhere, at least some recommendation, if anything. Okay, well, if that's, any other questions on this? If not, why don't we move on? Thank you very much. Let's go on to SCR 213 and SR 176, urging the state to adopt a zero net vehicle growth policy to reduce traffic congestion. Testifying first is the State Energy Office.
Not available, Chair.
Okay, thank you. They're in support. DOT.
On our testimony in support.
Thank you. Hawai'i Auto Dealers Association.
Chair Lee and members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to testify. I'm David Rolfe with the Hawai'i Auto Dealers Association. This resolution creating a net vehicle cap would deny some citizens their freedom. That's the freedom to own a car. This is the Singapore model, where the wealthy there can afford a car, but everyone else has relegated to public transit. This model would begin to separate Hawaii citizens, those with cars and those without. The cars in Singapore, it's amazing how the cost has shot out the moon because of this. The Volkswagen Golf there, for example, would cost $110,000 to purchase. It's $20,000 in the US. To buy a Toyota Corolla would be $136,000. It's just wrong to have a situation where you have the prices of used cars bid up because they have to be turned in to be able to buy a new car. That's the Singapore model. We are 33 times larger than the country of Singapore. They have near 6 million people. That may have been a model they had to institute, but it would not be right for Hawaii. It would be wrong. And we're asking that you hold this reso, but if you do move it through, we would ask that you amend it to include all the things that we bring to the table now with these new vehicles and their ability to connect to the grid, to promote the growth of broadband, to help transportation itself, of course, and the economy and delivery, and it goes on and on what cars are connected to. So we would just say this concept is wrong to have a net vehicle growth. The idea of getting together to create a roadmap to help transportation and the future of Hawaii, that's a good idea. But the idea of capping cars is wrong. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next is King Auto Group. Good afternoon.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, thanks, Senator Lee. Chairman Lee, I'm Mike Needhammer with King Auto Group, and I appreciate the opportunity to testify. I'm in opposition to this resolution for several simple reasons. I mimic what Dave had said about the increased cost of vehicles. My testimony is submitted, but basically supply and demand, it gets so supply and demand out of whack, and it'll basically cost more for vehicles and ultimately negatively impact the lower economic rung the most. And the other issue I have is it's just another bad optic for Hawaii when we're trying to control markets, and it's going to drive folks out of the state, which unfortunately might help with traffic congestion. Not the way we want to get there. So I'm opposed to it, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right, thank you. And lastly, we have testimony in opposition from JN Auto Group. That's all the testimony we have. Are there any questions on this measure? If not, all right, thank you. Why don't we see if we can squeeze in one more bill here before our joint hearing in just a few minutes, since we have to wait a few minutes anyway. And up next is SCR 239 and SR 199, urging the Department of Transportation to increase the use of reclaimed asphalt pavement to repave and reconstruct streets and highways. And testifying is the Department of Transportation. Oh, excuse me. Department of Transportation. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chair. We stand on our testimony in support.
Thank you. And we also have additional testimony from one individual. That's all the testimony we have. Are there any questions on this measure? If not, all right, we still got time. SCR 21 and SR 10 requesting DOT and Kauai Department of Public Works to conduct a study to identify and recommend methods to alleviate traffic congestion at certain highways. Testifying first on this is DOT.
Hello, Chair. We stand on our testimony in support.
Thank you. And that's all the testimony we have. Are there any questions on this? If not, it's 3:12. We got 3 more minutes, so why don't we keep going? SCR 235, requesting the Department of Transportation to evaluate Kuakini Highway between Queen Kahumanu and Henry Street on Kamehameha 3rd Road on Hawaii Island and conduct a feasibility study regarding traffic reduction. Testifying first on 235 is DOT.
We stand on our testimony in support, Chair.
Thank you. And again, that's all the testimony we have. Are there any questions? If not, thank you very much. And then finally, SCR 51 and SR 33 requesting DOT to conduct a study of flooding at the intersection of Mamalahoa Highway and Meliana Place on the island of Hawaii. And testifying again is the Department of Transportation.
Here, we stand on our testimony in opposition. This area is currently under the jurisdiction of the County of Hawaii, and it's not on the state highway system. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We also have testimony on SCR 51 from Mr. Kunitomo.
I'm here
Oh, please, go ahead.
for your help. It's been almost 20 years since the flooding occurred, 2004, and both the waterfalls from the north and the south engaged right in front of my property, which is the Mamalo Highway. The walking lane mark was a bother of getting to be touched a matter of 2 to 4 inches. It was a massive flooding in my life. Oh, prior to this, I had spent 32 years with Health Corps. I went to many infrastructure you could imagine. I faced them all. The good, the bad, the worst. And now I live on a property which was only one owner. Mr. Bowman bought the property from Julian Yates, and it was parcel of perfect land. With this issue of progress, there were 2 encounters on the Corona School elementary entry. There were many obstacles created because there were people who didn't want the water to come down to their property, which occurred for over 70 years. The lady named as Midilani Wellington. At the time, she was my close right-hand lady.
Mr. Kunitomo, I'm sorry, can we ask you to summarize? We're running out of time.
They both are alive, and I'm trying to cut it short, but thank you for all the briefing, but it is a man-made issue, and I think I need the COCOA in every way possible.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for your testimony today.
Thank you.
Okay, why don't we, are there any questions on this measure from anybody? If not, why don't we take a recess from our 3 p.m. agenda so we can open up our joint, so we'll recess our 3 p.m. And up first on this measure, or excuse me, well, real quick, I don't know, Chair, did you have any introductions you wanted to make or anything in particular you needed to say?
I'd just like to introduce my committee. It's Hawai'i Senator Baker is still here, Senator Kurt Favela, and Senator English. So that's the Public Safety Committee. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. And of course, for those tuning in, Transportation Committee, myself, Senator Shimabukuro, Senator Favela, Senator English, and Vice Chair Inouye, who should be with us shortly. All right, moving right along, I know a couple folks have places to be, so up first is SCR 76 and SR 56 requesting that the City and County of Honolulu prohibit electric scooters, electric bicycles, and electric trikes on sidewalks. And testifying first on SCR 76 is the City and County of Honolulu. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chair. Thank you again for hearing the measure. We've provided written comments, and the gist of our comments are basically that, we are working earnestly and diligently to make sure our sidewalks and our infrastructure are available for everyone who needs to use them, pedestrians, vehicles alike. And when it comes to sidewalks, and it comes to these electric vehicles, which are not clearly regulated by state law, we are just seeking clarification through another measure, through HB 72, that creates in the state statewide traffic code a definition for electric foot scooters, and by having that clarification in the law, we'll be better able to regulate, what vehicles can go on the sidewalks versus maybe a cycle track versus maybe just belong in the street. So with that, we'll stand on our written comments, and we're available for questions.
Thank you very much. We also have testimony submitted from 8 individuals in support and 3 in opposition. And that's all the testimony we have. Are there any questions from anybody? If not, all right, thank you, everyone. Let's move on to the next measure, SCR 120, SR 94, urging the Hawaii Department of Transportation to develop, in conjunction with counties, an expanded statewide public awareness campaign regarding the state's move over law. And testifying first is the Department of Transportation. Good afternoon.
Hello, Chair. David Rodriguez with the Department of Transportation. We stand in our testimony in support with concerns.
Understood, thank you. We also have testimony in support from 1 individual, and that's all the testimony we have on SCR 120. Are there any questions? If not, all right, that's the end of our agenda, so why don't we, Chair, do you want to go into a recess, or you want to go straight into DM?
We can go straight in.
Okay. Why don't we go straight into decision-making on both these measures, SCR 76 and SR 56, regarding scooters. For this, just want to recommend moving this forward with amendments, acknowledging the concerns raised by the city and county, and making amendments to urge the city and county to implement safe infrastructure through their complete streets and other appropriate programs to allow for electric scooters to run separated from individuals to protect sidewalks. So this should address the city's concerns. So with that, any discussion? If not, why don't I take the vote for us in transportation? Voting on SCR 76, recommendation to pass with amendments, as well as SR 56. I'll vote aye. Vice Chair Inouye excused. Senator English.
Aye.
Senator Shimabukuro.
Aye.
And Senator Favela.
Aye.
Thank you. Measures adopted.
For public safety, Chair goes aye. Senator English,
Aye.
Baker, Senator Baker. Oh, muted.
Oh, sorry about that. Aye.
Senator Rivere's excused. Senator Favela.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Motion's adopted.
All right, thank you. Moving on to SCR 120 and SR 94, urging DOT to promote the move over law. Why don't we move this along with amendments, addressing DOT's concerns regarding resources, and simply call on the administration generally, because DOH as well as other departments also potentially have resources that could be available. But just calling on the administration to address the move over law as they're able. Any discussion on this? If not,
Yeah, Tim. I understand what the DOT is trying to say, but just like how the DOT put ticket and ticket and all of that on their sites, I don't know what resources they need to do that. You know what I mean? They can do advertisements like the ticket and ticket and the ticket and driving. I don't see what would be the difference between the two, and adding this in a mix, because it's just as important to save lives with our first responders and tow truck operators.
I appreciate it. I think we're still calling on DOT to do this. We're just also acknowledging that other departments, for example, those that are working with Blue Zones partners and others that also deal with complete streets and all this sort of stuff, also have the capacity to reach out. So we're just including everybody as well. Okay, any other discussion? If not, voting on SCR 120 and SR 94, recommendation to pass with amendments, noting the excused absence of Senator Vice Chair Inouye, but everyone else present. Are there any reservations or any noes? If not, recommendations are adopted.
Okay, for public safety, of the members present, any voting with reservations or in opposition, seeing none, motion's adopted.
All right, thank you, everybody. Thank you to the good committee on public safety and all our members. We're adjourning our 3:15 hearing, and for folks on transportation, we still will have our joint with EET, and then we'll wrap up our 3 p.m. agenda.
Thank you, Chair. I appreciate you moving us along.
Thank you for your work, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Okay, so let's, while we're waiting for the other folks to hop on from EET, why don't we go back to our 3 p.m. agenda? And right. Okay, here we are. So we're on SCR 173 and SR 138, requesting the Department of Transportation to initiate 3 innovative pilot projects of meaningful scale to modernize transportation infrastructure in underserved communities. And testifying on 173 is a good question. Give me one sec here. Oh, Department of Transportation. Up first on 173.
It looks like Jade is not available at this time, Chair.
Okay, no worries. Got it. Yeah.
Hello,
David-
Chair, can you hear me?
Oh, there you are.
Can you hear me, Chair?
Yes,
Sorry about that.
no worries.
Yes, we stand our testimony in support of SCR 173, Chair, SR 138.
Thank you. We also have supportive testimony from one individual, and that's all the testimony we have. Are there any questions? If not, thank you. Let's move on to the final set of measures on this particular agenda, SCR 121 and SR 95, urging the Department of Transportation and City and County of Honolulu to make safety improvements to intersections and roadways in the Eva Beach area. And testifying first on SCR 121 is the Department of Transportation.
Hello, Chair, David Rodriguez, Department of Transportation. We stand our testimony in support.
Thank you. Up next is the Transportation Committee Chair from the Eva Neighborhood Board, number 23. In support, I want to apologize, City and County of Honolulu, DTS. With comments. We have additional support from 9 individuals. And that's all the testimony we have on, oh, and we also have on SR 95 as well, Eva Beach Elementary School in support, as well as 2 other individuals. Now that's all the testimony we have. With that, are there any questions? If not, thank you. Let's, in that case, wrap up our 3 p.m. agenda. So that takes us to our joint 3:15 with, or 3:16 with the Committee on EET. So why don't we take a quick recess, we'll wait for everybody to assemble, and we'll be right back. Recess. Good afternoon. We're convening the Joint Committees on Transportation and Energy, Economic Development, and Tourism for our joint 3:16 p.m. agenda here in Senate Conference Room 224, as well as online. For the Transportation Committees, myself and Senator Inouye, Chair, Co-Chair. We're joined by members Maile Shimabukuro and Senator Kurt Favela.
For Committee on Energy, Economic Development, and Tourism, my name is Vice Chair Benet Misalucha. We do have our fearless leader, our chair, coming very shortly. And on Zoom, we have Senator Gil Revere and Senator Favela, and I think that's it. And of course, Senator Chris Lee is part of our committee as well.
Yeah.
They're all connected.
Oh, and Senator English is online. All right, thank you. So up today we have SCR 263 and SR 222 convening a public racing facility working group to locate and establish a public racing facility in Oahu. And testifying first on 263 is the Department of Transportation.
Members of the committees, we stand in support of the intent of this bill.
Who's that?
It's DOT.
Oh, Dave.
Okay,
David.
Yes. Can you hear me, Chair? I
yes,
can't see anybody, that's why.
yes, we can
Okay.
hear you.
So, okay, sorry about that. Hello, members. David Rodriguez with the Department of Transportation. We stand in support of the concurrent resolution. Chair?
Thank you very much. Up next, we have Climate Protectors Hawai'i in opposition, and Oahu Motorsports Association. Mr. Kobian.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chair, for this opportunity. For the rest of the committee, and also thank you. My name is Lee Kobian. I'm the president of the Oahu Motorsports Association. I'm also a former board member of the Honolulu Board of Parks and Recreation of 8 years from 2011 to 2018. We support SCR 263, having a working group for a public track. All the neighbor islands have tracks, Oahu doesn't. And the neighbor islands are all under their Department of Parks and Recreation, and they have an awesome program. They got little kids that are involved learning STEM education. And also, I wanted to add, highly recommend that in light of City Council Resolution 18-73 that was done in 2018, they also support the development of a raceway park on Oahu. And to be, follow the same guidelines as the neighbor islands. We'd like to ask if the Department of Parks and Recreation can be part of this working group. And also, I think it's a great idea having the Department of Transportation involved because we can sure use some of that recycled asphalt.
All right. Thank you very much. That's all the testimony we have in SCR 263. On SR 222, its companion, we also have one additional testifier in opposition. And that's all the testimony we have. So are there any questions? If not, all right. Why don't we take a quick recess? Do you want to go into the thing or do you want to go straight into DM? Why don't we go into a breakout room?
Okay.
All right, good afternoon. We're reconvening the joint committees on transportation and energy, economic development, and tourism on our 3:16 p.m. agenda, voting on SCR 263 and SR 222. The recommendation, chairs having conferred, was going to be to move this forward with amendments, adopting the recommendations from the testifiers who suggested adding in the city and county and some of their respective departments to the potential working group, and making other tech amendments as appropriate. So any questions, any concerns about this? If not, all right, voting on SCR 263, and SR 222.
Okay.
Vice Chair.
Chair's recommendation on the Committee on Transportation is to pass SCR 263, SR 222 with amendments. Chair Lee.
Aye.
Vice Chair goes aye. Senator English.
Aye.
Senator Shimabukuro. Aye. Senator Favela.
Aye.
Okay, 5 ayes. Your measure is adopted, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much.
For Committee on Energy, Economic Development, and Tourism, same recommendation. Senator Wakai, would you kindly call the vote?
My pleasure. I vote yes. Senator Misalucha.
Aye.
Senator Lee.
Aye.
Senator Revere.
Aye.
Senator Favela. Okay. Chair, your recommendation is adopted.
All right, thank you very much. Thanks to the good EET committee for working together on this. We are adjourned from our 3:16 p.m. agenda, and TRS members, we do have to vote on our 3 p.m., so we'll go straight into that.
Thank you.
To our
Which time?
3 p.m. Thanks, Glenn.
Bye, see ya. 3 o'clock. Oh, yes. Okay, okay, all right. Okay, I'm settled.
Okay.
All right, yes.
All right. Okay, we're still live? Is that right?
Yes, that's correct, Senator.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving back to our 3 p.m. agenda, we had a number of resolutions up today. So up first is SCR 90 and SR 69 requesting DOT to adopt rules to address the level of noise emitted by the vehicle's exhaust. Noting the, I think, issues raised by DOT in their testimony, we would like to continue working on the issue generally over the interim in a more unofficial manner with some of our stakeholders, the counties as well. So this is my own reso, but I'm going to defer it. Up next is SCR 213 and SR 176 urging the state to adopt a zero net vehicle growth policy to reduce traffic congestion. Appreciated the concerns raised by some of the testifiers, but also really appreciate the intent of this. So did want to move this forward, making some amendments. Broadening the focus of this so it is not just a focus on zero net vehicle growth, but rather it's a focus on the underlying issue of how do we reduce traffic congestion and address the other issues raised by the reso in a way that doesn't just continue to add lane miles and widen things endlessly, because we know that's unsustainable. So we'll switch that focus and then also amend the task force to include broader stakeholders as appropriate. So any discussion on that? If not?
Chair's recommendation to pass SCR 213, SR 176 with amendments. There's 5 members present. Any voting with reservations? Any nays? Okay, measure passed with 5 ayes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Up next.
Sorry, I think Senator English's camera needs to be on for the vote
Okay.
to count.
Oh,
Senator English, are you there? Can you, okay, all right. Thank you.
okay. SCR 239, SR 199 urging the Department of Transportation to increase the use of reclaimed asphalt pavement in their highways and streets. Seeing testimony supportive, wanted to recommend moving this on as is.
Okay. Chair's recommendation on SCR 239, SR 199 is to pass as is. There are 5 members present. Any reservations? Any nays? Measure is adopted with 5 members, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Moving on to SCR 21, SR 10 requesting Department of Transportation and Hawai'i Department of Public Works to conduct a study and recommend methods to alleviate traffic congestion on Hawai'i. Recommendation is to move this forward, making just an amendment, changing the reporting date from 2022 to 2023 as suggested in testimony.
Okay. Chair's recommendation on SCR 21, SR 10 is to pass with amendments. We have 5 members present. Any reservations? Any nays? With 5 members present, Mr. Chair, measure is adopted.
Thank you. Moving on to SCR 235 and SR 195, requesting DOT to evaluate Kuakini Highway and Queen Ka'ahumanu Highway on Hawaii Island and conduct a feasibility study regarding traffic reduction and widening. We'd like to move this on, making a few amendments. We note that DOT had previously conducted a study in this particular area, so we want to reference that. Also, fix the reference to lane widths as they appear in the resolution as suggested in testimony. And then thirdly, switch things up just a little bit so DOT considers evaluating this section of highway, also looking at other alternatives to widening pursuant to the testimony, and making recommendations to include appropriate upgrades to improve the transit through this area in the Highway Safety Improvement Program, so that there's a sort of comprehensive look at things, as suggested by DOT. And then thirdly, I'll note that the next set of resolutions on the agenda are also from the same district. So we'd like to just incorporate them both into this reso, so we have one reso that has both concerns raised. So we'll add to this as well DOT to evaluate flooding along Mamaloha Highway at the appropriate time should the state acquire that section of highway, which again was the focus of SCR 51, which is the next one. And then we'll make other tech amendments to adjust the wording appropriately to incorporate all of that.
Okay, so we're still concentrating only on 235 and 195
Yes,
here?
right.
Okay, with amendments.
Right.
Okay. Chair's recommendation on SCR 235, SR 195 with amendments. There are 5 members present, Mr. Chair. Any voting with reservations? Any nays? Measure is adopted with 5 members present, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And SCR 51 and SR 33, so this is requesting DOT to conduct a study of flooding issues at Mamaloha Highway. So this was what we just incorporated into the prior resolution. So for the gentleman who had testified from that district, do know that this resolution, that the substance of this resolution is moving forward. So we'll defer these 2 resolutions at this time. So moving on to SCR 173 and SR 138, requesting DOT to initiate 3 pilot projects of scale to modernize transportation infrastructure in underserved communities. I want to move this forward, passing with amendments, simply including the city and county of Honolulu, as well as making other tech amendments.
Okay. Chair's recommendation on SCR 173, SR 138 is to pass with amendments with 5 members present. Any voting with reservations? Any nays? Measure is adopted with 5 members present, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And then finally on our agenda, SCR 121 and SR 95, urging the Department of Transportation and city and county to make safety improvements at particular intersections and roadways in Eva Beach. We'd like to move this forward. I'll note this was the proposed SD1, so we'll adopt the proposed SD1, so it'll be with amendments. And then also make a couple additional amendments based on the testimony to address DOT concerns regarding specific recommendations for raised crosswalks at specific intersections, and instead ask for general safety fixes at those specific intersections as appropriate.
Okay. Chair's recommendation on SCR 21, SR 95 is to pass with amendments. All members present, any reservations? Any nays? Measure is adopted with 5 members present, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you. That concludes our, all 3 of our agendas for today. Thank you, everybody, for.
Good job.
Yeah. We're adjourned.